Well, hello there, Internet. It is finally day 7. 7 days being at home with 2 hours of PA support per day after 2 weeks in hospital, which should only have been 1 week, following a discectomy, so pretty straightforward back surgery. Not a bad day today. A bit of sunshine outside did help, except that I have extreme photosensitivity, so me enjoying the sunshine means being indoors with the blinds drawn, but the windows open and the back door open, and being able to just listen to the birds and not be in a massive institutional building of echoing corridors full of people and machines. That is definitely an improvement and definitely positive. Again, I had a friend who came to make lunch for me today, was able to enjoy a bit of chat with him, but, you know, pretty tired out afterwards. One thing that I did notice is that I have had now so many years, I don't know exactly how long, of having a morning PA 6 days out of 7, and then on the 7th day, because of my hypersomnia, ending up sleeping till sometimes 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Usually, I suppose there's been times when it has been usually 4 or 5 in the afternoon, good times when it's only been 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And my body is so used to that routine that now I don't get to sleep easily on a Saturday night. So yeah, I had trouble sleeping last night, and I did note it last Saturday and the Saturday before that when I was in the hospital. So that's an interesting one. Someone online recently, first time I've heard anybody else ever discuss hypersomnia, which is where you just sleep too much and it's bad for you, said it feels like having an addiction to sleep. And I know that the majority of people, particularly people who have insomnia or people who lack sleep for other reasons, whether it's because physical pain keeps them awake or they have work or family commitments. I know that most people listen to us complain about hypersomnia and go, God, it would be lovely if I could sleep through 16 hours straight. But that would be a bit like someone seeing me either lying here on the couch all day or in my wheelchair and saying, God, it would be great if I could sit down as much as you did. It's not a choice, basically. And it's one of the reasons why I rearranged my PA hours a few years ago so that I would be able to get up in the morning more times than not. So that's one of the things I was reflecting on. And then I was reflecting on, as well, issues of physical energy, because the times I'm most physically tired and the time when my pain is likely to spike are after doing my physio exercises, which I hadn't been able to do any exercises for months because of the herniated disc impinging on the sciatic nerve. Was just too painful. So after physio exercises is one time, and the other time is now kind of last thing at night, after I've just fed the cats, locked the doors, turning lights on and off, and any kind of task where there's that bit of kind of moving between here and there and carrying this thing there and then going over to that place. That's the kind of task which having PA support really helps with, which is why it's helping me at the moment just to have meals arranged for me, even if those meals are pre-cooked, just to have them heated up and put onto a tray and handed to me. That is saving spoons for me, and that's preventing me from getting even more exhausted and putting myself into too much pain. And that's one of the things as well, I think, that's misunderstood about wheelchair users. Loads of wheelchair users, yes, we can stand and we can walk, but the toll is so tremendous that we're basically saving it for when we really need to. For those times when it's unavoidable to have to get up, to move, to carry our own weight. And I know that yesterday there was the huge Millions Missing actions for people with ME and CFS across the world. Amazing to see so many people with chronic fatigue actually managing to gather together in numbers to make themselves seen and heard. And for all of those who weren't able to on that particular day, still making their contributions online and in every other way that they could. So yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of people out there with conditions like ME using a wheelchair, like on their bad days, or because they know that they will need energy later on and they're saving it for that. So, and I know that either shaming or calling someone out for standing up out of a wheelchair is a big area of ableist abuse. I will be getting a new wheelchair this coming week, a new manual lightweight wheelchair, which was kind of ordered many months ago, just to facilitate me getting around my own home. Now, as I've said before, it's a small house, it'll be a bit awkward, but it will mean that, you know, if I'm in a bad way, I can get from my sofa to the toilet without it being a massive drain or really hard work. I can, you know, go and put some stuff in the kitchen on a tray, or take stuff out of the fridge and bring it over to where I need it to be on a tray. So, you know, I mean, I know there are things that people without a mobility impairment take for granted. That's the old story, but it is very true. And it's one of the elements that really impacts on having any energy left over to do anything but barely survive. So, since I'm a little bit better now, a little bit more settled into being at home, and, you know, the people who are supporting and helping me, both my professional PAs and the friends who are coming in to help me with lunch, now that we're all a little bit more certain of what we're doing, I'm hoping that's going to leave me with a few spoons to make the phone calls I need to make. I need to talk to my physio about my recovery, pretty essential. I need to find out from the hospital when my surgery follow-up appointment is, pretty essential. I need to talk to my mental health team about, again, a course of recovery-based work that I had already set up with them, but then had to be postponed when the surgery was postponed. You know, these are like things that I'm sure someone else might have been able to do on the day they leave hospital or the day after. But for me, it's a week, and we'll just have to see how long it takes me to actually do those phone calls. So that's the end of day 7. Thank you everybody who has been watching these and who has been sharing them. It really does help me to feel heard, and I think it is, I hope it is a valuable record of the day-to-day issues facing somebody in my position, particularly at this really vulnerable time of trying to recover from a surgery that I waited, 18 months to get. So good night, and I'll talk to you again in 24 hours.